Imagine walking behind your local supermarket and seeing bins overflowing with perfectly good bread, fresh fruit, and sealed yogurts. Now, imagine a store manager coming out and pouring bleach over all of it just to make sure no one can eat it. It sounds like a dystopian movie, but for years, this was common practice across the globe. Supermarkets wanted to prevent foraging or liability issues, so they destroyed food while millions went hungry. But in 2016, one country decided enough was enough. France became the first nation on Earth to make it illegal for supermarkets to throw away edible food. Today, we're diving into how they did it, why it matters, and if the rest of the world is finally following suit. The movement started from the ground up. In 2015, a local councillor named Arash Darambarsh started a petition after seeing homeless people, students, and struggling families scavenging in trash bins at night. The images were heartbreaking. To stop people from taking the waste, some stores used locks, or more cruelly, chemical dousings. Public outcry reached a boiling point. In February 2016, the French Senate voted unanimously to pass a law that changed everything. The Loi Garot didn't just suggest donations, it forced them. So, what are the rules? Size matters. Any supermarket larger than 400 square meters, about 4,300 square feet, is legally required to sign a donation contract with a registered charity. The penalty: if a store is caught destroying food or throwing it in the bin, they face massive fines, up to $75,000 or even prison time for repeated offenses. The food quality. We're not talking about rotten scraps. This is unsold food, items approaching their best before date, slightly bruised produce, or damaged packaging that is still perfectly safe to eat. The hierarchy. The law established a food waste hierarchy. First, prevent waste. If you can't sell it, donate it to humans. If it's not fit for humans, send it for animal feed or composting. Landfills are the absolute last resort. The results were almost immediate. Before the law, French food banks received about 35% of their donations from supermarkets. After the law, that number skyrocketed. 10 million more meals, just a 15% increase in donations, provided an estimated 10 million additional meals per year for those in need. Better nutrition. Charities reported a massive improvement in the quality of food. Instead of just dry goods, they began receiving fresh meat, vegetables, and dairy, items that were previously too expensive for food banks to buy. The ripple effect. Since 2016, countries like Italy and Israel have introduced similar legislation, and the EU has set ambitious goals to halve food waste by 2030. However, it hasn't been a perfect road. Charities suddenly faced a logistics nightmare. They needed more refrigerated trucks, larger warehouses, and more volunteers to handle the massive influx of fresh food before it actually spoiled. Also, while supermarkets account for about 11% of food waste, the biggest culprit is still households, which account for nearly 50%. The law was a massive step, but the battle against waste starts in our own kitchens too. France proved that with the stroke of a pen, a government can turn a waste problem into a hunger solution. It proved that food is a right, not a disposable commodity. So, the next time you see a supermarket throwing away crates of oranges, ask yourself, why isn't my country doing what France did? If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into how the world is changing. Let me know in the comments, should this law be global? Thanks for watching.